Hey, what up, fam? It's Joe Mill here, back with Killer Miller Q, and today we firing up the old Lone Star Grill. We're gonna be doing a first-time recipe. I got some Mexican-style pulled pork coming your way. I'm also gonna be doing some special smoked salsa. Should be good. Let's get to it. So you done seen what that Mexican pork came out looking like, but before we get this thing started, I'm gonna show you one of my little Christmas gifts. This was something that I actually have been wanting. This is by Drip Easy. This XL barbecue prep club tub. They got a couple different sizes. I wanted the biggest one. Wifey hooked it up for me. I appreciate that. But basically, you can do a little bit of everything, as you can see on here. From the start, in the beginning, you got a cutting board. You can raise it up and then have something that you can season in, as well as it also comes with this lid on top where you can then close it up and then be able to actually set some food to the side or something like that. So finally got something nice and big enough where I can actually get a chance to play with this thing. So that's what we're going to be using today. Let me go grab that meat. There it is. So we on this barbecue tub. It's all collapsed down, so we basically on the cutting board surface. Like I said, like this a lot so far. Here's my pork butt, nothing special. I went and grabbed this one out of the supermarket. It was cheap, and it's about to be easy, and it's about to be good. But it does got some decent little bit of marbling. You know, you always try to pick you a good one. There's that old money muscle you can see there. It's got some little bit of striations on there. Try to get in there a little bit without so much of the, there we go, shadow of me, as the sun is just starting to pop up over here. I won't do too much to this. I do see a little fat right here that I'll mess with. You got to be careful on these pork butts, because you know, you start chasing them fat seams, and next thing you know, your whole thing came apart on you. And other than that, I'll probably go ahead and score the fat side. But let me do that, and then we'll pop this baby up and we'll start working on that seasoning. I'll show you what we're gonna bind with. So I wanted to show this. Once I flip this baby over, you see the fat cap here. I noticed that it really wasn't that much, but it was sitting up a little high, and it was super easy to get to. So you know, you get to tinkering around. So I started giving it a little bit of trim, but just so you can kind of get an idea of what you do in that situation, all I did was I got my little paring knife, and I'm just giving it small slight slits here as I'm holding up on it, and it'll just all pull right back. So I'm about to pull the rest of this right on off. We'll get down to a nice thin layer of fat, which is more or less what I wanted, and we'll be good. Back to the work. All right, so we got that thing taken off, much cleaner, nice and thin layer of fat. I still went ahead and gave it a little bit of a cut into it. I had a little layer that came off, went ahead and trimmed that down. I'm gonna cook that separate. That'll be a little something I can play with quick, fast for myself along the way to get done quick. I don't know if I told you, this was about a 8.5 pound pork butt bone in. Obviously we just took off just a tad bit of fat, and I'm taking off that layer, so let's just say we're gonna call it at a roughly 8 now. Next thing that we're gonna do, I'm about to pop this up like I said, and I got a special binder that I'm gonna be using, even though I haven't used the binder in a little bit over the last few cooks. But I'm looking to give this one a nice little bit of flavor, and I'm hoping that this is gonna add us a little love. Alright, so this is how we're going to make this thing Killer Miller style. This is my favorite and my go-to hot sauce whenever I'm making like fajitas or any type of Mexican style dishes. I like this Cholula, I believe it is. It's kind of like the Red Hot. It's got a little more zing and a little bit more of that Mexican flavor, but it's one that's not super hot, but it does got quite a bit of flavor. As you can see, we done pulled up the walls over here in this tub, so now I'm getting ready to go ahead and give it a nice dousing of this Cholula, and then we're coming over the top with the seasoning that we've used before. That's that Chef Marito, that fajita seasoning. This we used on made some fajitas before over there on the Blackstone, and it's absolutely fabulous. It's got a nice little lemony flavor that's in there, as well as a good savory. I think it's gonna give us a beautiful color, and I got a great feeling that these are gonna come out good. Okay, my initial impressions, I'm loving this tub already. Just from the fact of how it's easy to keep everything on here. Usually I'm getting everything all over my table and I got to clean up a little bit before I can get back to my next shot. Now everything's in here. We got this thing lathered up on both sides. Now we're about to come over there with that Chef Marito. And then once again, I already was thinking as I was just about to do this, how much seasonings you can save, because now everything's staying in one bucket. You don't got to worry about the transfer. And then you can make it a lot easier to make sure that you get everything off the bottom. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nothing special to see there. Got a nice, I mean, you might be able to kind of catch that in the light a little bit. It's got a little bit of a reddish, brownish color going on with that hot sauce that was on there and that Chef Marito. Here we go, I'll show you that again. Make sure you get a good view of that Chef Marito in the light. There we go, get out the way. This is some good stuff right here, I'm telling you. Found that at my grocery store. Great kick, not super salty, super flavorful. Super flavorful, got a nice little lemony kick. So we got that all over that pork butt. Got my little instant tester. And then like I said, we did a binder with some of that Cholula hot sauce on there. Give us just a little bit more kick. Best part about this whole barbecue tub, everything stayed right in here. My countertop or my table is still clean. And you got a lid where you could throw it in there. And if you wanted to marinate something, put it in the fridge overnight, you good to go. So this thing right here is all right. If it was a little bit warmer out, I would just leave this right here sitting on my table as I'm waiting in this Lone Star is coming up to temp. But believe it or not, it has actually been cold over here in AZ. I mean, it was about 37 this morning, so not so cold right now. But I wanted to kind of get more up to room temp, so I'm taking it back at the crib. We got it dialed in. Chugging along. Got a little condensation in there. Like I told you, it's a little chilly around these parts. But we got this puppy on there. Look at that gorgeous red color we got going on. We're gonna let this thing hang out. That Chef Marito and that Cholula hot sauce, my little snack pack over there. We're gonna let this baby hang out. Won't be a whole lot to do. I'll bring you back in a couple, and we got some work to do for some sides. 2 hours, 40 minutes in. Just threw a little bit of wood in. So we got a little spike. How you doing? How you doing? Come on up out of there. We're getting us a little bit of color in. I can see my little tester piece about ready probably to come on up off of there. So I'm gonna be looking forward to tasting that. It's got some good looking color. So I got a little spritz that I just put together. We're using a little bit of orange juice, 50-50 cut with some apple cider vinegar. I didn't want this to be too sweet, so I didn't want to do my normal apple juice and apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna give it a little spritz with this, and we'll see what it looks like. Much better. All right, we got some more work to do, so we better get up out of here, put this back in here, grab my tester piece, and we'll be back. Hey, I want to jump in here real quick and let you know, thanks for following along on today's cook. If you're new to the channel, go to that bottom right corner, make sure that you subscribe, check out some of the other cooks that you missed. And for everybody else that's been following along, I appreciate you like normal. Let's keep it moving. So while we got all of that going, we're going to get into this salsa that we're going to put together for these carnitas or these pork tacos. So basically what I got here, and obviously you can make this recipe your own or whatever you want to do. I'm gonna be using 3 jalapenos that I got here. I'm gonna be smoking along with a serrano pepper. I got about 5 Roma tomatoes, and then what I'm gonna do with this garlic is we're gonna cut the head off. It's gonna be actually going with a little bit of olive oil here into this aluminum foil, and that's gonna get kind of more or less roasted. It'll get a little smoke in there, but that way we'll be able to kind of squeeze that out and get that paste. Let me chop all of this down here, and you'll see how we put it in the smoker. And just like that, we got everything chopped up. Nothing too crazy. Split them down the middle, chopped off the heads, and for me, I don't want to make this too hot, so I took out my stems and my seeds. With the tomatoes, chopped off the butts, split them down the middle. That was it. And then obviously we got our little pepper. Our garlic, we chopped the top off. That's that root side, real close as you can get it. And then from there, it's sitting over there in my little piece of aluminum foil. I put a little bit of olive oil on there. I'm not gonna worry about having no seasoning to it. We'll hit that on the back end. All I'm gonna do is wrap this up into a nice little ball, and this tray is going directly right back on the old Lone Star. There we go. We're gonna let these babies hang out. I'm at least giving it somewhere between a half hour. We'll see how they look. I don't want them to get too wilted, but this is going to all get blended, so it shouldn't be too bad. At least, like I said, easy half hour, but I wanted to get some good smoke flavor. This baby's smelling great. Look at my sampler. Let's get this baby up off of here with this beautiful color and all that moisture. And I'll let you know what that tastes like in a minute. So we had 3 hours and 50 minutes in. Pork butt's looking good. We got some good looking color. I just gave it a quick rotation while I'm switching up these or adding some wood. The vegetables ready to come up off of here, so I'm about to bring those babies in, and we about to blend those up. And I get this one more spritz. So now that we got that off, In a perfect world, I probably would have cooked those more like at a 225 or something even lower, but I'm trying to hurry up and get that pork butt done, so I'm not cooking forever. So that's probably up to more like a 275 more or less, but they got about 40 minutes, so they got a little bit of smoke in there. I got about a half of a bunch of cilantro that I'm just gonna be dumping directly right in there. We're gonna be adding in one whole onion, and I just kind of quartered it up a little bit. I'm gonna be adding in that roasted garlic, which now pretty much you should be able to, let's see if I can do it with one hand, more or less squeeze the back, and it's been sitting out for a little bit, and each one of them individual buttons will just pop right out. So we're gonna get that up out of here. We got the juice of one lime going in there, and we're gonna hit it with some salt and pepper, and then just kind of pulse it more or less to exactly what you like. There we go. Everything's in. Got my salt, got my pepper, all my garlic in there. Let's go blend this up. And there we go. Came out pretty good. At the end of the day, make sure that you take the time, pulse this thing. You don't want to necessarily go into a full-on blend mode, but pulse it. I had quite a bit of garlic in mine. Let's see if I can get this in here while I'm on cam. Clearly, you see I decided against that. I ain't want to make a whole lot of a mess out here, but basically, I was going to say, make sure you pulse this thing instead of just turning it into a straight-on blend if you're using your blender. That way you don't over-blend it. You don't want it to necessarily be completely a puree, unless that's how you like it. For me, these came out pretty good. It's got a lot of garlic in here, but I did want a lot of garlic. I'm going to be using this a little bit as a topper, so it's going to give a whole lot of pop. Only thing that I might have done differently is I might have probably added me a couple more Roma tomatoes just to kind of get this a little bit more red and more tomatoey. Along with it, doesn't really have that much heat, so I probably would either threw in another couple jalapenos or at least another serrano. Other than that, if I wanted to, maybe you can add a little bit more cilantro. I went with half of that bulb instead of the whole thing. It's got flavor lasting, but this is going to work. It's going to also taste a lot better once it kind of sits and marries. So we got to get this in the fridge. We already hit it with salt and pepper, so it's ready to go. So we have 4 hours, 40 minutes in. Ho, 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 ho. Bark looking good. Hold on there. Look at that. Look at that. Sunlight give me a little bit, but it's barking up pretty nice. We might be about at the time to wrap. Let me spritz this thing, and out of curiosity, I'm gonna take a peek at it and see where we at. So I grabbed that thermometer. Check this baby out, man. I already know this coming off. Color is perfect. Spot on for what I'm looking for. I got a little smoke in my eye. Let's see where we at. Dead left center. 51. That's good. I like the color. We got a good amount of smoke in there. Let's get this baby wrapped. Okay, man, it smells absolutely fabulous. And then, you know, the natural little bit of fat and juice and everything on my spatula tastes fabulous. This Chef Marito is slamming as far as that fajita mix. I cannot wait to have these tacos. So all I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna get it nice and wet with a little bit more of this mixture, or the spritz that I'm using, which is the apple cider vinegar 50-50 with some orange juice. And we'll go ahead and throw a probe in this baby dead center, and I'm gonna be wrapping this baby up. Right now you can see what I'm rocking with. I got a light little rack down here, and then I'm sitting in this old aluminum pan, so that way we can maintain some of this bark. It allows some of that juice to go ahead and sit down there in the bottom, and my whole juice don't have to sit into it. All right. 6 hours, 50 minutes. We've been rolling. See, I picked that temp up a little bit, took it up to close to around 300. I won't be adding no more wood in, even though I do got one more thing that we're going to do later on. We're at 201, so I know that's going to be perfect. I'm going to let this baby come on up out of here. Good old Thermopro, so I know I can trust that. And let it rest a little bit just as is, and then we'll get a peek at it and pull it on up. So I had to pop the old light back on. The versatility of this Lone Star is unmatched. I just hit this with just a little bit of cooking oil. What I'm about to do really quick is get my little street tacos together. That's what I was saying. The old versatility of this Lone Star is, I don't want to say unmatched, because I know there's other grills out there that do the same thing or similar or so on and so forth, but I do enjoy it, man. And I said I need to start making sure I take more advantage of it. So instead of me turning around and using my oven and warming up my house, and I already got everything warmed up right here, let me go ahead and get this together. Right there. Get these a couple minutes and get these a flip. You already see the little bubble up. That's what I'm looking for. Just need a little bit of heat. Nothing crazy. Man, I swear that ain't nothing but woo. We talking what, maybe 30 seconds? Kiss that finger a little bit on that one. Ah, now I'm scared. There we go. Bow. And my last one. These don't take too long. Like I said, maybe 30 seconds on each side. Get them up off of here. Alright, after about 7 hours of smoke. Ooh, you see that smoke in there too. This thing's been hanging out now for about an hour, so we can get this thing up out of here. It's got plenty of juice at the bottom. You see why we do that rack. You can see the separation that we was able to get and able to keep some of that bark on top. And we can already see that that bone is protruding and ready to come out of here. Let me throw this over in the bowl. Alright, let's get into this a little bit. First things first, let's get this bone up out of here. Always a beautiful sign where you can see that bone come out of there nice and clean. Not a drop on the thing, still hot. Sit that to the side. And I know I got a little bit of fat cap at the bottom, but you can see that's pretty much after we scored it. Pretty much all rendered. I'm not going to worry too much about that. And we just going to start to kind of break this thing down. And this is still nice and hot. But wow, you can see all of that beautiful smoke in there. And some of that good moisture. Still got me some of that bark. And I'm just going to start breaking down these tubes. Alright, so I got this pretty much mixed up. I mean, this stuff looks beautiful. Nice smoke. Great flavor. Nice and moist. I didn't add nothing to this. I broke down my fat over here to the side. That's going to my dog. Still got plenty of extra juice. If I need to add a little something to this, you can strain this off right into this overall just to give you a little bit more juice. But good flavor. I'm not even going to add any more seasoning. We're going to go right from here and let's put together some tacos. Finished product is as seen. We got some good bark left around. We got plenty of good smoke in there, as you can see. And we got a lot of moisture. Still got a lot more liquid that I can add back in to kind of make that a little bit more moisture full, if you want to call it that, I guess. Or more moist, I guess, is probably the right way to say that. Other than that, you got that salsa that we already made. It kind of came together a little bit. And got a chance to kind of chill out. And then we got to start the show, our carnitas or our pork tacos, whatever you want to call them. So pretty much I'm about to dive into one of these and see what these things taste like. I'm going to keep mine pretty simple. All I did was pull that pork. I'm putting on there a little bit of red onion, some cilantro. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of this lime. And I'm going to taste it straight up like that. And then maybe I hit a little bit with some salsa. All right, got that lime on there. Oh man, this is smelling amazing. Okay. Okay, I want to try that salsa. Alright, this one, I went ahead and put a little bit of that salsa on there. Let's get a bite of this. It was juicy. That salsa came together. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright, one day later, as you can see, we got that thing done. Came out fabulous. This fajita pulled pork, or this Mexican style pulled pork, came out fabulous, man. I really enjoyed this Chef Marito. The flavor that comes off of here, undefeated. And the bark combination that I was able to get by starting with this little hot sauce and the Cholula, and then coming with that Chef Marito over the top, solid. Got great smoke into this pork. Obviously, I know you can't see it, but you just did. Overall, great smoke ring. I had a good bit of bark that stood up, and I got a ton of moisture, ton of leftover liquid to kind of pour in as I needed. And as you saw, bone came out of there clean, so I can't be mad at nothing that had to do with this pork. Kept those tacos nice and simple, so you was really able to taste that pork. So pretty much did do nothing but hit them with a little bit of lime, put a little bit of cilantro on there, hit them with a little salsa, and then by the end, I ended up trying some with some Cholula and the salsa, and it was perfect. Everything was fire. Now the salsa itself, now that was the first time, and a shout out to my boy over there, George, your 805 barbecue junkie. seeing him, and he was over on his grill actually doing some roast vegetables and doing some salsa, kind of gave me the idea of, hey, I should get it out there on my smoker and get some smoke in there. You could definitely taste the smoke in those tomatoes and in this salsa and everything. Gave it a whole nother note. I was a little heavy-handed with the garlic. We do like garlic, being that I was actually still putting it on the tacos and everything. I think it really took it to the next level with giving it just a little bit more flavor. And once it actually sat in the refrigerator, it calmed down a little bit. But you can make these recipes your own, especially when you're talking about something like salsa. Next time I'll probably add a couple more tomatoes in there, so you'll see a little bit more redness that'll come out of there, as well as I would have probably gave it a little bit more heat. So I would probably throw in a few more peppers, and probably could have went ahead and threw in a little bit more cilantro, because I always love that too. But hey, overall, we got a winner right here with this pulled pork. I'm gonna dive in, get me a little bit more, but other than that, I'm gonna catch y'all in about a week. Shouts out to all my family, like always. My boys over there with Black Smoke Barbecue doing big things. I'm gonna catch all y'all later. Peace.